Hello students. Now we're gonna start our defense of January month. So let's start. So first one we're gonna see some infantry weapon system of India. We'll be seeing some updates which are relevant from our prelims perspective, right? So the infantry means whatever is in the hands of the frontline people, police, whether it be counter-insurgency force, counter-terrorism forces, CRPF, army, like that. So what are the different weapons they have in India? Assault rifle, carbines, and machine guns. A subtle difference between carbines and the and the assault rifles. So at assault rifle have a big, it's a big, relatively big, and carbines are relatively small. Now we don't have to go too much into deep what are the different technical difference, because that's, I don't think that's too much relevant for our UPSC preparation. But we just need to know that, because what we need to know, we'll be studying three basically weapons here, and from which country they are taken, right? And which they'll be replacing. Okay, so first is AK-203 assault rifle. So first, this assault rifle we are taking from, we are joint venture with Russia. Okay, so we are making it at Korwa in Uttar Pradesh. Firstly, secondly, it will be replacing the AK-47. So it will be replacing it will be a modern variant of the AK-47 assault rifle. It will be lightweight. It can fire around 600 bullets per minute, right? So a lot of bullets per minute. So it has, obviously it has some advantage over the already AK-47 and INSAS that our army or the other people, other forces are using currently. Okay, so it will be equipped with, this particular AK-203 will be equipped with infantry, paramilitary groups, and police forces. So we will see with respect to the counterinsurgency in the, for example, in Jammu and Kashmir and the Naxalite region, they are given a different weapon. So this weapon is Sikh Sauger 716 assault rifle. So just like AK-203 we are making in joint venture with Russia. This is from USA. Okay, so they are the replacement of the aging INSAS rifle. INSAS is Indian Small Arms System. So INSAS rifle have been in use for a long time. Now they have been replaced by the imported weapons, right? So it has a better range, 600 meter, as compared to requirement of 500 meter for counterinsurgency operation. And these rifles will be deployed in the counterinsurgency and counter terror operations only at LOC. Okay, right? So what are the advantages? Obviously, because a lot of work is there on this front, so they have to be very accurate, reliable, and they will reduce the fatigue of the ground forces. Now many of the problems that CAPF like BSF or SSB are facing, a lot of a long number of hours, and they have to carry weapons all the time. So that is why we need weapons which are accurate, which are light in weight, relatively light in weight, and have long ranges. Okay, so we are making it with America. We are importing it from the USA. So please remember the country name. Third one is carbines. So carbines, as I told you, relatively smaller in size. So India is signing for having some carbine from a company of UAE. Okay, so this is carbine, right? So if the question will be asked, the question, no such questions have been asked on this front, but if the question will be asked, it will be more or less will be on the lines of from which country we are procuring that, or which country we are making it a joint venture. Okay, right? Next is Operation Vanilla. So Operation Vanilla is basically Indian Navy has taken Operation Vanilla for HADR purpose, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, because of the flood hit Madagascar. So Madagascar island, everybody knows, Africa, it is here. Madagascar, one of the favorite world mappings, right? So Indian Navy has shown, India has emerged as a first responder, right? So we are, in fact, Prime Minister says on various forums like Shangri-La Dialogue or Raisina Dialogue, that we have emerged as the first responder, especially if any event is there in the Indian Ocean, right? So Madagascar, one of the island in the Indian Ocean, and we are helping them out. So for that purpose, we have sent INS Aravat. So we have deployed this particular naval ship. Okay, so this is Madagascar. We have discussed a few islands nearby, remember? Mauritius, Seychelles, Assumption Island. So INS Aravat is the, don't think it's important, but if the question will come, INS Eravat was in the news, so it will be in this context. Secondly, they won't ask you a question that what is about INS Eravat. I think that will be too much depth they'll be asking. However, it's a third Shardur class amphibious warfare vessel. So Shardur class means, I told you, the first name of the ship becomes the class name. So Shardur class means the first name of this particular ship would have been Shardul. Right? For example, you can see INS Shardul, then INS Kesari, then INS Eravat. You don't have to remember Kesari and all. Just remember INS Eravat went for Operation Vanilla to help the people in the Madagascar. That's it. Okay. So why this is called Vanilla? Because some of the islands nearby Madagascar are called Vanilla Islands. I'll cover in February month places in news. So Vanilla Islands because they export a lot of vanilla buds. Okay. Right. Next is INS Sumedha. So INS Sumedha was in news for the anti-piracy patrol near the Gulf of Aden, right? One of the stranded vessel near the Somali coast was there and it helped it out. So it goes to show India's another capability as the net security provider. So please remember these key terms, and if you can elaborate this, for example, in the mains, you have to write answer Indian role in Indian Ocean. Now 1.1 can write, okay, we are the first responder. Okay, we are the net security provider. But if you can substantiate with these examples, okay, first responder, example, Operation Vanilla, net security provider, example, INS Sumedha came to rescue of the ships. So like this, okay. Right. So Gulf of Aden location, Gulf of Aden is there, Babe Mandap, Strait, Red Sea. So this strait is also very important, right? Okay. So the idea of the Sumedha obviously is to increase the ocean surveillance and patrolling requirements of the Indian Navy. The idea of the net security provider that especially the countries of the Arabian Peninsula and these countries want. Okay, and India is well equipped to do that. Next is Annie Besant and Amrit Kaur. So Annie Besant and Amrit Kaur are the Indian Coast Guard ships. So they are named to give tribute to or in the memory of these two ladies, Annie Besant and Amrit Kaur. Annie Besant we have already covered in our Impetus series, personality. I think it was the first Impetus series that we have covered Annie Besant. Right, Amrit Kaur we will cover in art and culture this time only. Okay, so what were the contribution of Amrit Kaur? Who or she? Basically, very simple idea. Okay, so they were commissioned in the Coastal Guard. Right. Next is GOCO model. So GOCO model is full form is government owned and contracted operated model. So Indian Army has started identify potential industry partner for its base workshop and ordnance depots. So what it will be, the government will provide all the basic infrastructure, the basic facilities, but it will be operated by the private players. Now GOCO model, what will be the positives of it? What is the significance? Obviously, it will create the competition among the private players, efficiency, competition, all these things. The same argument of privatization will come. However, there are some concerns also. Some concerns are also raised because some of the government players have said that private sectors are not equipped to do these operations because they have not done these operations before. Okay, so that is what there. So many officials who have opposed the move have claimed that it would increase the cost, and the private companies do not have skill to carry out this. Okay, so who will be applicable in the GOCO model? Not all. I don't think this fact is irrelevant, but still, obviously those will have some sort of experience, 10 years of working experience in related domains, an average turnover of 50 crores for each of the last 3 financial years. So they will be eligible for this GOCO model. Okay. So it was recommended by the DB Shekatkar committee. So many of the recommendations of the Shekatkar committee has been implemented. Many of the majority of the commitments were for reducing the expenditure of the army, right? For example, one of the recommendation of the Shekatkar committee was to improve the tooth to tail ratio. What does that mean? That means those people who are at front line are very less as compared to the tail. The supporting staff is too much. So please improve upon it. Right? Many of the farms operated by the army, the committee has recommended that the army should not do these things. Right? So apart from that, so GOCO model is in news and it's a normal thing, but remember GOCO model is in the context of the army. Then cyber Ashwast means, what Ashwast is a Hindi word that means to make someone believe, right? So Cyber Ashwast is basically the idea. Our Home Minister has launched this project, Ashwast and Vishwas. Uh, Ashwast and Vishwas. So it will be the Ashwast. Ashwast will be then exclusive online portal. So it will be having a helpline with respect to the for the victim of the cybercrime, especially the cybercrime victim from cyberbullying. Okay, because cyberbullying is something which can what is cyberbullying? Basically bullied through cyber. For example, you posted something on Facebook, or you posted some child has posted something on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere. Now the people started commenting in such a way that it seems to bully her. So what happens? He or she does not upload anything, does not express, and that is what bullying is all about. He becomes cornered, he becomes introvert. Okay, so Ashwast is for this particular thing. Then along with that, they have also launched Vishwas portal. So Vishwas full form is Video Integration Statewide Advanced Security. So what is Vishwas? So Vishwas is basically for it's an e-government initiative. It is for the law and order management. Obviously, what they'll be doing, video integration and meeting security out of it. So some sort of camera, some sort of camera system, CCTV system they will be installing. Then some analysis will be done. Based on that, some pre-incident analysis can be done. For example, this area is vulnerable, so their security can be enhanced like this. And post-incident investigation and video forensics can be also done. Okay, so this is Ashwast and Vishwas. And what is Netrang? So Netrang is, apart from these two, it will be a common command and control center in Gujarat. Okay, these projects are launched in the state of Gujarat. Okay, right. As we have already discussed that cyber crimes are increasing in India, because as we are going for digital India, digital payment system, many of the things are happening. For example, one we'll see in this particular session, juice jacking. Okay, next is cyber crime control, Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, I4C. So I4C is basically under Ministry of Home Affairs. So all the efforts with respect to cyber crimes are majority are taken under the initiative of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, so I4C is a 7-pronged program. What it will provide? It includes a cyber crime reporting portal, then analysis of the threat, capacity research building in innovation analysis, creating an ecosystem, joint cyber investigation like this. So overarching agenda of coordination among the different agencies. In fact, when you read cyber security in our internal security in the mains batch, you'll realize that one of the problem in the cyber security is that we have multitudinal of agency working in different ministry. For example, you have MeitY, you have CDAC, you have different NIC working for different thing, right? So one of the problem is with respect to the coordination, and ultimately what is hampering the overall our cyber security infrastructure. In fact, for now we have a cyber security policy. We do not have a cyber security strategy. That itself is pending, okay, at the executive level. So apart from inaugurating the I4C in Delhi, Amit Shah has also dedicated Indian Cyber Crime Reporting Portal, right? From the name itself, Cyber Crime Reporting Portal. So what it will be? So along with I4C, he has also dedicated Cyber Crime Reporting Portal. So all the cyber crime related complaints will be accessed by the concerned law enforcement agency in the state and union territory for taking action as per law, right? So it will give a portal on which the complaints can be launched. For example, this is the screenshot of the Cyber Crime Reporting Portal, right? Similar to the POXO, pencil portal for labor has come, right? For the child labor pencil portal. Next is juice jacking. So you must have seen there are many public places there are charging infrastructures. So many charging slots are there, right? So you attach your phone in those charging socket. However, this is what can be a vulnerability in your phone, can be exploited, and your data can be stolen, or your some malware can be installed in your phone. So this is called juice jacking. So SBI has issued warning for the juice jacking. So being careful when you use your phone into the public charging stations, right? Because hackers will be infecting smartphone with the malwares. Okay, so what should we do then? Then first of all, they are saying the switch off the handset before the recharging. Then try to carry the power bank. Then avoid opening the password pattern tool while it is in the charging, right? So prevention is better than cure, right? Because if they get access to it, then they can have access to they can clean your user data, or they can access your data for blackmailing, right? Extortion can be done, so financial account can be hijacked, like this. So remember, juice jacking is with respect to this. Next is Cyber Safe Women Initiative. So this is the initiative of the Maharashtra government for the cyber awareness, basically. Cyber Safe Women. So making a cyber space safe for women. So it's a more or less awareness campaign throughout the Maharashtra. Next is proposal for merging Assam Rifle with ITBP. Last time we have seen SSB. So now the proposal is to integrate Assam Rifles and the ITBP. Okay. Right. So ITBP is basically Indian Tibetan Border Force. It is bordering the Indo-China border, and Assam Rifle is bordering the Myanmar border. What the problem is with the Assam Rifle? It is one of the oldest Central Armed Police Force. It is under the administrative control of Ministry of Home Affairs, but operational control of the army. Now that is why when this proposal has come, many in the army have said rather than merging it with ITBP, one should merge it with army. Okay. Now what will be the coordination problem? Obviously, when it is under two heads, obviously there will be some coordination problem with respect to Assam Rifles. So this is why the government has finally decided, okay, we will be merging Assam Rifles with the ITBP, and it will be under all overarching architecture of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, let us discuss something about Assam Rifles. So Assam Rifle was instituted by the Britishers, right, to fight against some of the problems in the northeast, right? So currently it plays an important role in our internal security operation as well as the border management. In fact, one of the problem in the border management in India is the dual role these agencies have to play. Dual role means first role they have to be on the border, and secondly, if there is any insurgency, they have to tackle that. So that compromises the integrity or the security of the border itself. Okay, now both the things are related. However, if the one force is doing the same thing with less human capacity, then it creates a bit of problem. Headquarter being in Shillong, so it has been guarding Indo-Myanmar border since 2002. Okay, what about ITBP? ITBP was raised after 1962. What was happened in 1962? Indo-China War. Okay, so ITBP has been deployed on the border, guarding duties for Karakoram Pass in Ladakh from China border, right from the Jammu and Kashmir to the Arunachal Pradesh. Headquarter being in New Delhi. Now, as I told you, there are some concerns with the army also. So they are saying that there will be some operational issues. So they are saying we are changing the status quo. So what are the problems we are facing at the Myanmar border? There can be a problem, right? And army is saying that the Assam Rifle should be merged with us rather than with the ITBP. Then they are saying loss of promotional avenues. For example, what they are saying, many in the army, if they rose high up the rank, what they do? They become head of the Assam Rifles. Now, when Assam Rifle goes into the Ministry of Home Affairs, this opportunity is cut out. So, the promotional opportunities for many officers in the army as they go up the rank will be reduced. So, that's a bit of problem. So, these are the problem being faced by these are the problem proposed by the army. However, I think the proposal has gone ahead. Next is the commissionerate system. So, what is this commissionerate system? So, why it was in the news? So, now Mr. Yogi has decided that we will implement commissionerate system in Lucknow and Noida. So let us understand very quickly what was before commissionerate system. So before commissionerate system, it is called the dual system. Okay, so in the dual system, what is that? The SP has to report to DM. Okay, so there are dualities there. However, DM also performs some of the roles For example, in the case of the preventive detention, you see here, right? So yeah, so the powers of the executing magistrate, such as issuing the order for preventive arrest, imposition of section 4144, these power rest with the district collectorate, that is, let's say, IS. So this is the dual system. So there is SP, there is DM. In the normal also it is there in majority of the cities in India, in fact everywhere. Now SP has to report to district collector, right? Now they say that this is duality is not relevant for urban centric, where the complexity is more, where we need one command. So there they are saying that there will be a commissionerate system, right? So in the commissionerate system, he will be given the authority of the district collectorate as well. A few of the authority will have some of the magisterial power, those related to the regulation, control, and licensing. Okay, so a magisterial power of to the IPS officer of the IGP rank will be posted as a commissioner, and he will be accountable not to the DM, but he will be accountable to the state government, right? So the idea is to under one command and control system. Okay, so previously only 4 cities has this system, now 2 more have been given. Now earlier it has been recommended that this system should be implemented. So 6th National Police Commission have said that this should be implemented in the population of more than 5 lakhs, right? So this system should be implemented. However, it has been lagging. In fact, Mr. Adityanath has also said that this proposal was there, but previous governments have not acted upon it. Okay, so the idea is to have faster decision making in these things. And obviously, as you know, police is in the 7th schedule in the state list, so it is up to the authority of the state government only to do it, right? Next is, and the last fact I think for our discussion, that is KM Kariappa. So on 15 January we have celebrated Army Day. The question is, why we celebrate Army Day? So we celebrate Army Day because a Field Marshal M. Kariappa took over from General Francis Butcher. That means from a British head of the Indian Army, we had our own Indian head, right? So so it becomes Indian Army's first commander in chief. Okay, so it happened post independence. So this question can also be asked. 1947 we got our independence. In 1949 it happened. So that means that first time Indian got charge of the army after the independence. So this can be a one-liner. So the Indian Army was placed under the Indian commander before independence, or they can ask you before Republic Day or after Republic Day. So please remember it was in between, right? So KM Kariappa along with Sam Manekshaw have been given the title of the Field Marshal. Only 2 people in the history have been given so in India. This is being a more a ceremonial or a wartime rank rather than a field rank. So only 2 people, 5-star general have been given. So Sam Manekshaw, 1971 India-Pakistan war, and Mr. KM Kariappa. These 2 people have got this. In fact, Sam Manekshaw got it earlier in 1973 and KM Kariappa got it in 1986 later on. Okay, and this is why you can read it out, what is Army Day and why it is celebrated, right? This is the same reason. Okay, then we are finished with our discussion. So we started with the infantry weapon system of India. We have discussed 2 of the assault rifle, AK-203 and 6 Auger 726. This is being jointly manufactured with Russia, and this is being imported from the USA. Then carbines. What is the difference between carbines and the assault rifle? The size, basically. Otherwise technical differences will be there, but you can see first discernible difference is in the size. Okay, so carbines we are acquiring from a company from the UAE. Then Operation Vanilla we have seen, like our HADR operation in the Madagascar. Then INS Sumedha. INS Sumedha is anti-piracy patrol in the Gulf of Aden, right? Rescuing the stranded vessel near the Somali coast. Then Annie Besant and Amrit Kaur, Indian Coastal Guard ship. Then GOCO model. GOCO model is for the government owned and contractor operated model. So in which the contractors will be doing the operational thing and owning will be done by the government. Then Cyber Ashwast, some of the cyber initiatives we have seen Cyber Ashwast. Then we have seen Vishwas, then Netrang, Command and Control Center. Okay, then I4C, Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, then National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal, then juice jacking. We have seen important. Juice jacking is important because UPSC has asked many of the questions on the cyber crime. For example, WannaCry and NotPetya we have already discussed. They have asked that. Okay, then Cyber Safe Women Initiative, then proposal for merging IT Assam Rifles and ITBP, then Commissionerate System, and finally KM Karyappa. Right. So with this, we finish our discussion for defense of January month. We will see you in the next month. Thank you, everyone.